as the use of general revelation and reasoning through natural means. That is also how we come to know what the Bible says, through learning a language and what words mean, what the Bible is and how to read it, etc. So in the case of honoring my mother and father, by ordinary reason, I know that my mother and father are, say, M and K. Use their initials rather than be providing their identities here. So the application of that biblical command will be as following. The Bible commands me to honor my mother and father, the major premise. M and K are my mother and father, the minor premise. And the conclusion, therefore, the Bible commands me to honor M and K. Now, it should be clear that if I didn't honor M and K, then I would be disobeying the Bible, even though the Bible doesn't tell me who my mother and father are. It doesn't even mention my parents specifically. This analogy helps us to see how biblical principles can be applied in different contexts. Now, in the case of the Bible's authority, we will be looking at the following principles. Principle number 1. The infallible authorities that God has instituted in the Old Testament are ordinarily the scriptures, and extraordinarily universal or Catholic prophets. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary there just means that when in times where there was no prophet, the only infallible authority or rule of faith were the scriptures. Number 2, this principle continues into the New Testament teachings of Jesus and the Church. That principle, that ordinary infallible rule of faith, was the scriptures, and the extraordinary rule of faith were the words of prophets. Number 3, this principle then is normative for us, the Church, because in point number 2, they are carried into the New Testament Church. Number 4, there are no extraordinary prophets after the time of the apostles. Now, those 4 points would be something to establish by the Bible. The next point would be through ordinary use of reason, that is, the